Of course, there are quite a few stories, you see, of the crowded compartments in which Baba traveled during his tours for the musts and for the poor and needy, you see. And some of the stories, some of them, I think a couple of them have already been published. That's what I heard about the old man sitting by his side. Yeah. And then I don't know whether this is printed or not. It's this story that I will tell you now. We were somewhere in the north on a very long tour with Baba. And the days were when there was war, World War II going on. And India also, there was no war as such in India, but the conditions in India were such that a lot of supplies was to go from India, supplies of manpower and food and fuel and whatnot was to be supplied to the fighting forces in the world, you see. So India was also equally busy, and especially the transportation. And to travel in those days was an ordeal. But if you find and go through the records and find the records, Baba seems to have traveled the most during those years, when men dreaded to travel. And Baba traveled in the lowest compartment, class compartment, that is the third class compartment. It was impossible to find room and seats over there. Compartments were packed. People used to get suffocated and faint, you see. Such were the conditions. And to enter into a compartment through doors was an impossibility. Even at the time of junction, you had to fight your way through the door, you see. Even when from the place, the starting station, you see. But to catch a train and get into a compartment, you see, on odd stations was something, should be considered a great achievement, you see, if you could get your seats inside, you see, a standing room inside. So usually what we used to do, we had to get into the compartment through the windows. So Baba had to be lifted bodily up, see, and then there would be 2 or 3 mandali following Baba, you see, on the tour, and 1 or 2 would get inside, find the way inside, you see, jumping through the window. People around Baba, usually they were sturdy people, you see. They were not weaklings in those days. They were also young. Baba was also young, not too old, but older than the rest. And there were strong people, strong men around Baba those days, you see. So what we used to do, 2 of us would jump inside the compartment, and there would be a lot of a row there naturally, and verbal exchanges, and sometimes fists were exchanged too. And 2 from outside, you see, would lift Baba bodily and just try to make him enter the compartment through the window. So the 2 inside would help Baba get inside. And in that row, you see, Baba would be made to sit somewhere or stand somewhere or do something. Once all of us would get inside, then of course our attitude would completely change, and we would like to befriend the complement of passengers there. That's how Baba's presence was always, you see. So somehow or other, with our talks and our attitude towards them, we would befriend them, and at least we succeeded in making one get up and give up his seat for the sake of Baba, you see. Not knowing that he was Baba, but somehow or other we would try to coax and make him feel that Baba needed a seat to sit, and we succeeded in getting such things done, you see. We were adept, so to say, in this art, after long experience, of course. One day it so happened. By the way, another important point to be noted was that there were very few trains left for the regular passengers, you see, to ply up and down. All the trains were supposed to be special trains running up and down for the army, for the soldiers, you see. It was very difficult to get any seat or accommodation in this. But Baba traveled and traveled a lot during those years. And there was one day when we were at a small junction, you see, and we wanted to board a train, and we knew that it was impossible to get any seat. So when the train arrived at this station and stopped at the platform, we knew that we had to do something to get inside. We were very tired, and we did not know when we would go home, you see, under the conditions, go back home. We were heading towards our place here. So Baba encouraged me to request one of the army men who was by the side of the window, you see. And with great persuasion and all sorts of things, including bowing down and just trying to brush his beard, so to say. He was a Sikh gentleman, you see. And all that, the usual way of pleading with an Indian is to put your hand towards his chin, you see, and touch his chin as a sort of mark of pleading, a great request, a favor, you see. So with great difficulty, you see, I could make that man feel interested in our plight, you see. And with the consent of the rest of the military personnel there inside the compartment, he permitted us to enter the military compartment, which was reserved specially for the military. Something very unusual. So we were very happy. And we were given a tiny corner inside the compartment there. I can't give you the picture of the compartments that we have in India. Different types of compartments are there, but there is one compartment, a long, big compartment, accommodating about 125 people or 64 people, and there are lavatories, toilets at the either end of the compartment, and there is a small space left, you see, by the side of the lavatory there, that is also given a little berth there, a seat there. So just that little niche was given to us. Although the whole compartment was not full with passengers, it was half full. But in order that we being the non-military people, you see, passengers, we were just kept away from the military. It was good of them to have given us this separate little seat. We were very happy because Baba could be accommodated comfortably there, and we remained seated on the floor of the compartment. The train started, and we, of course, were very grateful to the people there. At least the Baba people were grateful to the military people that accommodated. And grateful more so because we felt that Baba was comfortable inside the compartment. The train stopped at the next junction. And there was a great rush of the military people there, you see, wanting to get inside the train. They were commissioned to go to a certain place, you see. So they had to catch the train, so they were there. So finding that compartment half full, the rest of the train was full, you see. That was the only compartment where they could accommodate themselves. So they rushed there, you see. But the people, the passengers inside, the military passengers inside, wouldn't permit them to get in there because the compartment would be overcrowded and they wanted some rest while traveling. So there was that tussle, whether to permit the rest of them or not to permit. But the crowd outside was so great that it prevailed upon those that were inside, you see, and forced their way inside. And when they entered, you see, then there was a lot of row there, a lot of verbal exchanges and abuses, and it started into a fight, you see. They were carrying their guns, you see, with the butt end of the guns. There was some sort of confusion there. They lost all their equanimity and there was a free fight there. The train already started. And had Baba not been there, there would have been that mutiny, so to say. Among themselves, they would have killed people, you see. But very rare occasions we find Baba coming up as the great rescuer, so to say. So all of a sudden, what do we find? You see? Baba had that day, because it was summer or something like that, had taken out his coat and all that, and he was in that sadra posture. You know that sadra? What do you call that? A plain, thin, white robe. We call it sadra. So he was wearing that sadra there, and nothing on his body. The usual, the informal dress that we find Baba in. And he stood up on the seat there, you see. And he clapped. His clap was so authoritative, you see. It drew the attention of the people, it seemed. In that melee, you see, that great fight that was going on there, hand-to-hand fight. But his clapping, I don't know how it was, but I still remember that. All of them, you see, just stood there as they were, with their hands up, about to hit the other, you see. And I, of course, then interpreted his gestures there. And people there inside the compartment didn't feel that Baba was silent, you see, somehow or other. So the gestures that were interpreted were such that Baba told them, you must stop fighting immediately. It doesn't behoove army personnel to fight amongst themselves. How will they be able to discharge the duty towards the country if they were to fight among themselves? It doesn't behoove them to raise arms over their own brethren. So they stopped fighting, you see. They came back to their senses. After all, we are all travelers. We are co-travelers, Baba says. We have to go to our own destinations. But en route, we become brothers, and the little time that we have en route, we can show our finer feelings and accommodate one another with great love and regard for the discomfort of others. Why can't we bear with little discomfort and help others? So they just looked at Baba, you see. They were taken completely by surprise, you see. And then Baba says, take your seats, try to settle yourselves down, and in no time you'll feel that all of you all have got accommodation here inside the compartment. So they tried to settle themselves down, and Baba then immediately said that now at the next junction there will be a great tea party in honor of all our brothers who are going to fight for our country. And they felt so happy, they cheered Baba, you see, and they settled down. And Baba, some Baba lover en route, you see, while during our travels had given tins full of sweets. So instead of carrying them back home, Baba said, we'll distribute this at the next junction, and we called for tea. Some 125 cups of tea were called, you see. And Baba distributed with his own hands. Each one was served with his own hands, and a handful of sweets to each one. And they had a merry time, and then they joked and they laughed. They completely forgot about the fight, you see. Completely forgot about the fight. And when they got down at the destination, oh, they were so proud, you see, and they shouted, Hind Mata ki Jai, and Jai Hind and all that, you see. And they got down happily, and Baba saved a very critical situation there in one of our travels. There's another story. It's a story soon after the war, you see. The situations did not improve in railway transport. What happened is, soon after war, there was that movement in India for independence. Everywhere in India, you see, there were uprisings and clamor and cry for independence. One good day, independence was granted by the British regime. And then there was another movement, you see, exchange of population between India and Pakistan. And in that exchange, there was massacre, where millions of people were killed on either side. Railway tracks lined up with corpses, you see. And trains were running now to remove the corpses to the destinations of the places, respective places, you see. There were no military personnel, but there were corpses and the relatives. The trains were full with that. Even in those days, you see, Baba never stopped traveling. He continued his travels. And we traveled and traveled, in spite of great dangers, you see, to our bodies, at the risk of our lives. Baba traveled. And Baba being in our midst, we had nothing to fear. Not that we had risked our lives, but then what was there, you see? After all, what's life, you see? When Baba was with us, after all, What is life and what is death? Nothing. It was just the same thing to us. So we were traveling. Once it so happened. Well, another thing is, those were the days when nobody was respected. Not even the authorities were respected here in India. Nobody cared for the other. Might is right, there's no doubt. But even a ruffian, you see, a wanderer, a scoundrel who had some strength, he superseded over the authorities that were there, you see. Crowds overwhelmed the police forces sometimes. They snatched away the guns and all that. There was complete chaos here. And the world knows about it. There's nothing to be hidden from the world. Those were the days when nobody respected the other. Those were the days that when respect, whatever little semblance of respect was for a corpse. So, one day we were traveling and we had a small compartment to ourselves. It is always called servants' compartment, attached to first and second class officers who traveled in trains. But there was no such category of first and second class officers at that time. All the compartments of the train, you see, carriages, whether they be first class or third class or second class or interclass, there was another interclass also. Between the second and the third there was the interclass. And then the lowest was the servants' class. And the servants' class was a tiny little chip of a compartment, a space that was given, you see, just one bench there. So that the servants could travel with their masters in the adjoining compartment, serve them and again relax and rest in the night in their servants' compartment, and they could be handy at the beck and call of the master from the window, you know. That's called the servants' compartment. Now you follow what it means. So somehow or other, through great difficulty and coaxing and all that, the tricks that we had to play, we could secure, it was a very long journey, and we could secure that compartment, and it was just adjoining the engine itself. You see, that whole carriage with the servant compartment next to the engine. So naturally when the train entered the platform, the engine would be far away from the platform. So we were always on the safe side, you see, in that compartment, from the crowd of the people and the rush and the riot that prevailed. People were being killed there inside while sitting inside the compartment. If we are passing through a state or through a place where Mohammedans predominated, they would just come in a crowd there and just try to search. Not their pockets, not their wealth, not their riches, whether you are a Mohammedan or a Hindu. If the Mohammedans search you and find you to be a Hindu, finished, you are no more. If the Hindus search and find the people to be Hindus, Mohammedans, finished. Thereafter. So those were the days when we were right in the midst of all that riot and chaos and confusion in the country. So we were in that compartment there, quite happy and safe for some time. But as the carriages got filled in, stations after stations, junctions after junctions, with corpses and the relatives, corpses and relatives. And the more the corpses, the more the relatives, the greater the fury, you see, because they see all this, you see. And therefore the subjects, the citizens through which the trains passed, you see, they couldn't tolerate this, you see. And therefore they were just mad. They did any act, committed any act. Rapes, murders, killings, beating, thrashing, anything they wanted to do. Well, we were there. As the train compartments got filled in gradually, what we found that the people collected, coming towards the compartments and carriages near the engine, you see, as stages after stages. So every time when there would be a stoppage, you see, at a junction or a station, we would feel frightened, you see, because now maybe the next moment our compartment will be overcrowded, that's all. So Baba always wanted us to be on the watch and look out, what's the position, without getting out of the compartment of the train. So we said, Baba, now this is the end of it. People will come now. They are coming towards us now. So Baba immediately told us, fetch a white sheet. You know white sheet? The bed sheet. And then immediately told us to cover his whole body. And then Baba posed himself as a corpse and laid down on the seat without any motion or stir. So Baba asked us for a sheet, you see, and he covered his whole body and remained stationary and posed as if he were a corpse lying there. And we were made to sit still and quiet with solemn expressions on our faces. And as expected, the crowd approached our compartment and just looked through the window and found us there, taking us to be sad at heart with a corpse by our side. They just wouldn't venture to get inside, although it was a very large crowd. But on the other hand, you see, instead of trying to thrust themselves inside, they just folded their hands, you see, the palms in a salutation, a humble salutation, and then they just turned their backs, and they didn't want us to be disturbed, and they left us. The train, after some time, started, and then of course Baba threw away the sheet and got up on the seat and sat down and was very pleased to have helped us, you see, in our plight. As Baba said, this helped, eh? He gestured in that way. I said, yes, Baba, it did help. So every time that there would be a junction or a big station, you see, he would pose himself to be a corpse and saved us from all sorts of troubles, you see, and dangers on that journey till we reached our destination. He brought us safe. How could Baba react to all these things, you see, to all the different aspects in life at a certain time? He doesn't react to these things because it's his own making, his own experience. He is fighting with the other, you see. How can he react? You see, that's nothing. The reactions that you see, that we see, you see, amongst ourselves, his reacting on a particular situation is nothing but our own experience. You see. How we react is his reaction. Because for him there is nothing to react. He just takes it in his stride as if nothing happens around him. But then on certain occasions, as you find, he just rescues us, so to say. He gives a hand, helping hand, you see, or like a babe, you see, just gets stranded. A person who is grown up, he can cross a stream, cross what do you call that little streak of water, what do you call it, you see, a pool, so to say, that comes in your way. Yeah, gutter. Whereas a baby just stands. So what does the grown-up do? He just lifts the body of the babe, you see, and just puts it on the other side, that's all. He's unmindful of it. What has that gutter to do? You see, he can take a stride over it and walk, go ahead. It's like that. You follow? The whole situation, the world conditions are like that. For him, what is it? It's his creation, it's a great game, that's all. To us, you see, it appears to be, oh, there's a war, oh, there are these riots, these killings that are happening. Nothing of the sort. Nothing happens, Baba says. And he says this, if ever anything has happened or happens, it's but by his will. First of all, he says, nothing ever happens. If ever anything happens, it's but because of his will. He is everything. That's the thing. We lose track of that little understanding that he gives us, you see, that he is everything. First of all, he has given this understanding, you see, that he is in everything. You see, I am not Baba, but Baba is in me. But who am I? Then the question is, he's everything, because I am nothing. You follow? Yeah. It's like that. But if Baba were to say that I am everything, then how can Baba be everything? How can he be the chair, and how can he be the earth, and how can he be this, and how can he be that, you see? So first he begins with this little understanding that he says, I am in everything, you see. And then he gives us a better understanding a greater understanding, and he says, I am everything. And then there is a further greater understanding that absolutely there is nothing but me. He says, I am the only one. There is neither everything nor nothing. So that's the thing.